call to order the May 21st, 2025 meeting of the TV Scott Library Board of Directors. Any correspondence to share?
Yes, from the Merrill Area Chamber of Commerce Foundation for the donation from the staff for the hanging flower baskets in the city. That's part of our donation for a week of the month. I think just for that. That's it.
No public comment. Minutes of the regular meeting for April 16th, 2025. And motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay. Any comments or discussion? Okay. All in favor of approving the minutes of the meeting from April 16th, 2025, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? They are approved. Vouchers for April 2025. Motion to approve?
Move.
Second. Comments or discussion? Okay.
So school outfitters, whatever they are, we spent more on school outfitters than we have on actually youth books and children's books. What is school outfitters?
The library furnishings.
Okay,
Yep.
and so that's a one-time only expense? It's not
Yes.
gonna pop
Yeah.
up again?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was kind of
Yeah.
it's always a hit when you take,
Oh, I know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Library furniture is meant for small gorillas, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool, thank you.
Mhm.
No further comments? Okay. All in favor of approving the vouchers for April 2025, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? They are approved. The monthly statistical report for April 2025.
Income and expense first.
Budget?
Didn't-
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
The unaudited monthly income and expense report for April 2025. I have a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay,
Second?
second. Any comments or discussion? All in favor of approving the unaudited monthly income and expense report for April 2025, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. Now the monthly statistical report for April 2025. A motion to approve?
Motion. Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any comments or discussion?
I noticed that for the first time in 6 months, magazines went down. They've been going up and up and up, and all of a sudden they went, "Ooh." Wow. So,
All in favor of approving the monthly statistical report for April 2025, signify by saying aye.
aye.
Opposed? It is approved. Action item number 1, review and approval of the donations policy. With the updates that are presented on the policy, I have a motion to approve. Second. Any comments or discussion on the policy?
It was just to clear up some of the language.
Okay. All in favor of approving the donations policy, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? It is approved. Review and approval of displays, exhibits, posting, and distribution of materials policy with the updates that are indicated. I have a motion to approve.
Sure.
Okay,
Second?
second? Okay. Any comments or discussion?
Yeah.
Number?
Pardon me?
You eliminated 3, so it's 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh,
So if you just renumber it, it would make a little bit more sense. That's
can we redo?
I didn't catch that.
That's funny. Go for it. Do something important.
Oh,
There we
well,
go.
I wasn't. It wasn't, that is actually, because that, if you don't do that, it confuses people later on.
Yeah,
And
they keep looking
They
for-
think you're hiding something, right? My question was on number 11. It's just a wording thing, but that's
Okay.
what we do is clean up the wording here. It starts out by saying the library board reserves the right to remove displays, brochures, exhibits, and flyers. I assume that means if I walk through the library and I don't like something, I can pull it down. Or notice that the second sentence says the library reserves the right of refusal to anyone who violates these regulations. You want to make it, there's just this weird distinction between the library board and the library. We are coterminous, but I think you don't want me to walk through the building
Yeah.
pulling things down. I don't think that's the intent
Yeah.
of,
Correct.
yeah, so
So the,
just say just take
The library,
take
yeah.
board out and,
Okay.
yeah, it's kind of weird, but
didn't catch that either.
historical memory, there have been board members who were likely to have
Done that.
engaged in that kind of behavior. So,
Okay,
that was all, thank you.
all right, thank you.
I don't know, was that important?
Any further
You wanted
comments
to
or
take
I
this.
discussion?
wanted to come in and rip stuff.
All in favor of approving the displays, exhibits, posting, and distribution of materials policy with the notations that, corrections that were noted, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. The report on the Zander Trust Agreement.
Actually, don't we have a,
Oh, we have the endowment,
Endowment
number
request.
3.
Oh, sorry. I was
That's all right.
crossing things off earlier than I should. The endowment
It's wishful
request for the
thinking.
purchase of the large window wall privacy drapery.
so I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, second? Any comments or discussion?
Yes, please. So just a couple of things. So I'm not sure, I know it's probably because we go through the endowment, but do we take bids? Is there an RFP process for this?
Not for this amount.
That's what I thought, is
Yeah,
it's
it
the
has to
amount.
be over
wise.
10,000, 10,000 above.
And so did we bother to look at anybody else, or did we just automatically go with somebody? I mean, how did we select this vendor?
It's an individual that I'm familiar with and I've worked with before. Outside of that,
How does it
I don't
compare?
know.
How does it compare to anybody else out there?
They're very hard to find in the area. She's one of the few that actually does draperies for that, unless I wanted to go, outside of the area to.
Which might be
bids.
cost beneficial. But I guess I'm concerned that there doesn't appear to be a search for what is most cost effective all the time. And proximity is good, it's nice, but with something like drapery, measurements work just fine. It's possible to get things from other locations that are sufficient. And I just am concerned about what appears to be lack of process, that's all.
Okay.
So it's just an observation that this never came in any other form, there's never any discussion about it. And here's the real kick to this, of course, is if it turns out there is somebody else out there nearby, they come back to us and say, you picked your friend. And then we look like, we look silly, right? So I'm just concerned that we need to outline the process when we are selecting and what the criteria are for selection. It's gotta be something substantive is my only, I mean, it's probably a perfectly good bid when you compare it to the
Others.
child care, what was it, school constructs or whatever, where, a chair costs $2,000.
Right.
It's probably comparable, it's just that the lack of an apparent process is something that we gotta be careful about,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Just going forward in future, I still made the motion to pass it, so you know how I'm gonna vote. I don't think I'm allowed to vote otherwise, once I make the motion. I think that's, anyway.
Don't get into it.
Oh,
Go on.
oh, Robert's Rules of Order. Oh, no.
Sorry, go on. That was all.
Okay.
Any further comments or discussion? Okay, all in favor of approving the endowment fund request for the purchase of the large window wall privacy drapery, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. Now the report on the Zander Trust Agreement. We'll get there.
Just so in Mike's absence, The agreement has been signed, and it has been sent back. The signature page has been sent back to the attorney. They have it on record with them, and we received their final bill, which was well under their quoted fee of $3,000. It ended up being, what, $690. Yeah, so. Yeah.
Well, that pays for the drapes then.
The comment that Mike called to make certain that was the final bill, because and her assistant said yes. It was because we were very specific with what needed to be in the agreement, so the attorney didn't have to do a whole lot of research to get what we wanted. So that was definitely in our favor. So, yeah.
And just in transparency, I did pay it out of the checking account, but I called Edward Jones yesterday to have a check cut to reimburse out of that endowment fund, which was voted on and agreed to, so.
Cool.
And a report on the youth services renovation project.
So the room is usable, however, we have some doors that still have not arrived. They put some things together to make it work for us, so that we could start using the room. It's looking good. Just need to finish up some things with the window coverings. And I did go around and look at other libraries to see what they do with their study rooms and rooms that have the glass walls. Some have curtains, some don't. And we just, because it's in the youth services department, I think that was one of the reasons why we made that decision to put something up, just in case we had a group that wanted a little more privacy. You'll still be able to, you're gonna see shadows, because it's just.
So are you taking like reservations for
We will.
usage of them?
We will start.
Started
We
yet?
haven't started yet,
Okay.
but we will. It's gonna be used a lot coming up next month, so we'll be busy with summer programming. We're excited. We will receive the final bill from them, and I will bring that to the board next month.
This is sort of jumping to the director's report, but there's it overlaps, which is that there's going to be more requests coming because there is apparently outstanding work. Additional expenditures to complete the project outside of JAS Construction's contract will be forthcoming. So is that's the nonfiction book bins, or is it something else?
No.
How open-ended is this? Where they change orders?
No.
Why? What's the?
Just in finishing, like the drapery and the window film. That'll be, and we don't have the information. We don't have the final bill for the window film.
Okay.
And that's just so that nobody runs into the windows.
And that's, when you say the final bill, for the purchase of the window film, or is that JAS
That's not,
Construction's
no, JAS is
installation?
done. JAS Construction, there was a small portion, and that had to do with the flooring.
Right,
We had to pay for the additional materials because the flooring had to be redone, but the installation of that, the reinstallation, they did that without cost to us.
okay.
So the amount coming forth will have that additional amount that was there because of the flooring.
Okay. And that's all it is then, is the flooring redo?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
great, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It saves us talking about it later.
Okay.
Okay, the strategic goals and action steps number 2, informational purposes in your packets, as well as the Wisconsin Trustees number 24, Library Friends and Library Foundations, for informational purposes.
Yep.
And the Library Director's report.
Just listed some of the events that we have coming up. We have completed that digital literacy workshop. It will be complete the end of this month, and we'll file the final. It's a very simple report. They just need to know how many people we had in attendance for the workshop. And we have been tracking the cost for the events and the tech purchases that we made as a result. We've got Magic of Isaiah that comes up in June. He is one of the most popular presenters that we have, or performers that we have here, so we're expecting our room to be filled to the gills. So I'm excited about that. I attended the state legislative listening session, as I mentioned. It was, excuse me, I'm speaking about the state legislation listening session by Mary Felskowski that was just held here. Excuse me, I stopped in. Was not aware that Cal Callahan was also going to be in attendance, so that did not show up in my report. So both of them were here, and the room was full. I stopped near the door every once in a while, and some good conversation. Didn't have to. We did have the police chief stop by and just check in to see how things are going, but all was good. Parking lot was extremely full, and of course that timing was perfect for after school pickup. So yeah, we had. It was a good thing that the chief of police was here because he was out there policing the parking lot. It was pretty much a disaster there for a while because the event didn't end. It was scheduled 2:30 to 3:30, but they weren't done here until like 10 to 4. So it was, yeah. So, well,
The room counts for our programs, our monthly programs, doesn't it? Yeah.
it will.
Okay.
Yep.
Just checking that
Yeah.
that the library gets credit for all
Yeah.
those people that came in here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Just checking.
And then WVLS, I provided the materials in there. Good report on a lot of different things going on through WVLS. There was the mention of the IMLS funding. In that report, she did include the links to a website that they have put together to help advocate for libraries that people are welcome to peruse and take a look at. We should have, like I mentioned, if all went well, we will have our new representative. I am waiting to hear from Marla at this point. I have not yet this week. So. Book sale was a huge success. They always do really well. They made close to like $1,200. So, yeah. And it's all donations. They went strictly to donations, and that's been very successful for them. We did talk a little bit about the renovation project, and they did include it in the report. Just mentioning some of those things again. We will receive the final bill from JAS shortly. I will bring that in June. Nonfiction bins, those we're in line for construction, so they'll get here when they get here, I guess. We're at their mercy. The RFID project, we met earlier today. We had to reschedule. We met earlier today with the project manager. We will be receiving 2 of the stations so that we can start tagging items that come in, the new items that come in for CAT to catalog. She will start tagging those items, and then as items are returned, we will be tagging in circulation. And then come fall, that's when we will work on the big project. So, and we're still in line for that. It will be a time-consuming project when it gets here, but we're excited to be able to have that complete. And that is what I have. Any questions from anyone, please?
All right. I have no comments, except the note on the next meeting for June on the 18th, 4 p.m. Everybody have a good holiday weekend. Be safe. And I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Second? We are adjourned.
No, it's never gonna.